Let's talk about Halodoc. It's a healthcare super app over in Indonesia, and its goal is huge, to basically simplify medicine for millions of people by connecting them to doctors, pharmacies, you name it, all from their phone. And you know what? On paper, it is a wild success. We're talking about 18 million people using this app every single month. It's not just some gadget. It's a critical tool people count on for everything. It's a true giant in the health tech world there. But here's where it gets weird. You pop open the app stores and you see a ton of reviews just like this one. 1 star. People complaining that prices are a total mystery, pharmacies are miles away, and deliveries seem to take forever. Just pure frustration. So what is going on? And that is the big question, isn't it? How can an app be this popular with millions of people relying on it, but at the same time be the source of so much anger? It's a total paradox, and it's one that a team of researchers decided to get to the bottom of. And that's the story we're going to unpack right now. So, to crack this case, the research team basically decided to play detective. They put together a 2-part investigation to figure out what was really going on in the minds of Halodoc's users. Okay, so first, a super quick detour on a key idea here, user experience, or UX. This isn't just about, does the button work when I press it? No, it's all about how using an app makes you feel. Is it smooth? Is it confusing? Is it a joy? Or does it make you want to throw your phone against a wall? It's the human side of things. The design legend Don Norman really nailed it with this quote. If the experience just feels wrong, it doesn't matter how many cool features it has. And that feeling, that's what was at the absolute heart of this Halodoc mystery. All right, so here was their game plan. Step 1 was a big, broad survey, something called the User Experience Questionnaire, to get the 30,000-foot view from a whole bunch of users. And step 2, a hands-on test, where they'd actually sit down and watch a handful of real people try to use the app. Get the wide angle first and then bring in the microscope. So the results from that big survey started to roll in. And let me tell you, what they found was, well, it was not at all what you'd expect after reading all those 1-star reviews. Get this, Halodoc scored as good pretty much everywhere. In fact, the official benchmark put it in the top 25% of all products tested for things like attractiveness, efficiency, and just being easy to understand. The numbers, the hard data, were all saying this app is really good. And this just makes the whole mystery even deeper, right? If the big data says the app is great, then where on earth is all this frustration coming from? Clearly, the real problem was hiding somewhere the big survey couldn't see it. They had to zoom in. And that brings us to part 2 of the investigation. To find those hidden problems, the researchers completely changed their approach. They went from asking hundreds of people questions to just watching 3 people do one simple thing. The task they gave them was something any of us could relate to. They just said, okay, imagine you have a headache, open the Halodoc app, and just try to buy 1 strip of Panadol. That was it. Then they just sat back and watched. And bingo. This is where they found the smoking gun. Well, actually, a whole bunch of them. Watching people actually use the app revealed everything. Users couldn't figure out the final price. The search bar was buried. They had no idea where the medicine was coming from or when it would arrive. They couldn't sort or filter anything, and if an item was out of stock, tough luck. The app gave them 0 help. And here's the absolute key. It wasn't one single giant flaw that was causing all the problems. It was a death by 1,000 cuts. It was this collection of seemingly small, annoying details that the big survey completely missed, but that added up to massive frustration for a real person who just wanted to get some medicine for their headache. Okay, so now they knew exactly what was wrong. But the researchers didn't just stop there. They came up with 4 very specific, concrete design fixes to solve these exact points of frustration. First up, that pesky search feature. It was hidden away, so users just couldn't find it. The fix? So simple, but so important. Just put a big, unmissable search bar right there on the home screen, where everyone can see it. Next up, they wanted to tackle all that user anxiety about price and availability. The redesign has users set their location right at the beginning. That way, the app can instantly show you what's actually available near you and for how much. No more guessing games. Then they fixed that nightmare of just scrolling endlessly to find what you need. The solution here was to add the kind of basic sort and filter options we all expect from, any online store. It lets people actually find what they're looking for fast. And finally, the delivery problem. The redesign gives the control back to the user. It gives them a clear screen with different delivery options, which totally eliminates that awful feeling of not knowing when or if your medicine is ever going to show up. So, when you step back and look at this whole case, what's the big lesson here? Well, it really comes down to the difference between knowing what is happening and knowing why it's happening. That big survey, that gave the researchers the what. It told them that overall the experience was seen as good. But it took that hands-on user test, watching real people, to get to the why. That's what showed them why specific moments in the app were so incredibly frustrating for users. So, here's the bottom line. Big data from things like surveys is great for seeing the forest, the big picture. But it's that small data from just watching a few people that tells you the human story of the individual trees. And if you want to build something truly great, you absolutely positively need both. And that kind of leaves us with a final question for you. Think about the apps you use every single day. The next time you hit one of those little annoying roadblocks, a button you can't find, or a process that just feels clunky, ask yourself, what's the bigger design story that might be hiding behind that one tiny frustration?